Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Speak Anime Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jordan, aka Cow. Today we're going to be discussing episode 6 of Magia Record. I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts. They can go and introduce themselves now if they'd like. Go for it.
I'm RisingSunReviews, a person who likes magical girl anime far more than most people do because they are awesome. And Jason, say hi.
Hello, I'm Jason.
Yes, we didn't prepare intros or anything, even though we were waiting for a long time to start, but that's okay because we don't know what we're doing.
It's the same people as the other ones, so
yeah.
If you've been keeping up, you should need no introduction.
And if you haven't been, come on, you have been. So, heading into this episode, heading into episode 6, I'm aware that by the time this is up on the YouTube, episode 7 is basically coming out on the day of.
We're bad at this.
But, yeah, we're really bad at our jobs. Shut up. We know this. Anywho, episode 6 started out kind of interesting. You are immediately thrown into like a labyrinth. If I'm not mistaken, like the opening scene was the 4 or 5 magical girls in the labyrinth, through none of which we had met yet.
Right.
And then one of them who jumps in was Felicia, who we come to know throughout the episode, and all I could think about the entire episode was the "Bye Felicia" meme, because I thought that she was gonna I feel like she's gonna die at some point, literally just because her name is Felicia, and I really want to say "Bye Felicia."
I don't know that meme, but okay.
That's just an old meme, just "Bye Felicia," and that's like it. That's the whole joke.
Okay,
I feel like
back before my time.
I'm just gonna hit you guys with that one. So
okay.
Anyways, what did you guys think of the? Interesting, but weird.
Yeah, the episode, I thought it was kind of slow for a while. I thought it was just going to be like an introduction of another character. But then, like, by the ending, I was really intrigued with us learning more about these things that I forget what they're called.
It's like the not witches.
The Uwasa.
The familiars in the Uwasa, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Magnet, or Magius, who is apparently behind them or something.
Mm-hmm.
So now things might start kind of making sense, but probably not.
Yeah, the Magius saying that, like, it can, what is it? It can, like,
yeah, it can, like, save them from being magical girl, and can eradicate the witches, which might be the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it is, too. But
yeah.
We'll see.
Thoughts on the episode as a whole, Jason, before we get into the details?
Yeah, I like the episode a lot. I think it definitely picked up from the past couple episodes, I think.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting to actually...
Episode 5
we're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Instead of just...
6, we're like really trying to dive in.
Yeah, it's definitely slower than Madoka still, but now there's like starting to give us answers, though probably with a lot more questions.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of shows that's going to bite off the main character's head in episode 3, though. Madoka's kind of special for that.
Yeah, that was special.
So this show is interesting. So it's obviously a Madoka spinoff, so it expects that the viewer... it's all structured around the... I just started recording my end, by the way. It's all structured around the viewer having previous knowledge of Madoka.
Right.
So if it's since it's a side story, you're expected to have either played the mobile game or watched the show. But I kind of came to the realization today that we've had basically no introduction of the soul gems, how magical girls really work. Part of me is wondering if that's because the studio itself that the anime is being made by is just expecting that you know the show, like, from watching Madoka and like the various manga spin-offs and then like the actual game and then how this is a spin-off, etc.
Yeah,
or if it's because she may not really maybe Tamaki doesn't really yet, and so that'll be explained.
Yeah, because there are definitely some things that Tamaki doesn't know that we know, assuming we've seen the original Madoka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will agree with Jason though. This episode is continuing the pace that episode 5 did. I think the beginning was a little bit slow, but I think it picked up pretty quick. Obviously, I was a pretty big fan of a few frames there in the middle where they showed they like teased Kyoko's back for a second. It's like they just showed her like teal sweater and her red hair, and it was only on screen for like less than a second.
Right,
She didn't say any lines, and I just instantly I got chills, and I like gasped. I was like, okay, Kyoko's fucking back, baby. Here we go. This is the magical girl's back. And then I was like, okay, she's gonna be in the next episode, but that's like it for this week. They're just gonna tease her. And then she actually came back and like had relevant lines and stuff.
Yeah, she did. Well, when I went to watch this episode originally on Funimation, when you like click on it, they like show a frame from the episode, and that was the one with Kyoko. And I was like, wait, Kyoko's in this episode?
What the hell? Yeah, I'd actually be so upset if I like watched it to Funimation. That's such a bad frame to pick.
Yeah.
Of all the frames, I know it's probably like automatic. Like, bruh, you don't gotta pick the one Kyoko. No one wants to spoil it.
That's like picking the one where Mommy gets her head chopped off.
Exactly. Like, come on, bro.
Well, speaking of frames, Greg picked a good one to display. This one.
The thumbnail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really red, blood red and black kind of hallway.
This show makes it really good to find good thumbnail images.
Like, visually, that was probably my favorite thing about the entire episode. Was just that hallway shot.
Oh, I think that has to be my favorite scene, just with, the visuals and everything else.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we've gotten our overall thoughts on it in our in my fangirling of Kyoko. Let's go and start actually diving into the episode bit by bit. I think the intro was kind of weird for a second, but then you realize that like probably at least one of these characters will be introduced and built upon.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, okay, this is kind of a Madoka intro. That's fine, whatever. But it was kind of like a weird intro, like pre opening song intro is what I mean, by the way. Not like just the first 20, like not the first like few minutes, but
yeah,
everything pre-opening was definitely interesting.
I feel like
kind of a cool take on like a little fight, and it builds up at least one of the characters that we meet. We meet Felicia during the episode, and it starts to build her up a little bit, but not too much to where you know what's happening or whatever.
I've noticed a lot of these episodes have it where like they'll start the episode with a scene that doesn't make sense because they like show it to you out of context, but then by the end of the episode you see like how it ties in. It sort of introduces you to where the episode's going.
Yep. I think it does a really good job of that. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Then we got the thing with the lucky water place that Tamaki comes across. And then,
so I want to start. I definitely want to start talking there. I think this is going to be pretty important for the rest of the season. So she decides that since it's a Saturday and there's no class that day, that she wants to like explore whatever the Kamihama city.
Yeah, just like I think she's still like searching for hints about Ui.
Yeah, she just said she wanted to go sightseeing, but like she's obviously just searching for hints, and that's fine. Like whatever, that makes sense for her character to do that. She's looking for Ui. That's fine. What I thought was interesting was like she was walking around the city, and instantly I started noticing like it's weird. It's a Saturday, as they mentioned, and they're in like what looks to be like some sort of shopping district, and she's the only person around.
Yeah,
she doesn't seem worried about that at all. And then she gets into like this whole area that's just covered in foreclosure and warning tapes around cones.
It just keeps going anyway.
Like keep you out, and she's like, "Oh, this city has this too." Like, no, bitch, leave. What do you mean? Like, get out.
And I'm wondering if it's like she just doesn't notice it because that's like part of the witch's power, or if it's just the studio being creative with the style and how it's showing stuff.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is that once they start drinking the water and stuff, how do they not see that they're being having it handed to them by what did they know is familiar?
I just call it a familiar. It's like a nuance familiar instead of a witch's, but I don't know.
How would they have not realized that they're at least inside of like maybe not a labyrinth, but they're under like some magical field area.
Yeah.
Where the things that are serving them are 2D paper thin objects that are flipping around back and forth.
I mean,
rather than 3D humans.
I mean, I occasionally get like a 2D person serving at lunch or something. That's normal.
I don't think so. I mean, I just feel like it was really weird that neither one of them noticed it.
Right.
Like you could maybe it would make sense in my mind that because Tamaki had like the weird stuff in episode 5 where like she became a witch, then she turned back or whatever. Like maybe it's harder for her to realize like witch things because for part of herself, like a witch's labyrinth and like the magic.
It might not.
It's like almost home because like she's part witch, so like being in a labyrinth makes sense. But then part of me is like, okay, but the human side has to. The thing handing this bottle of like bubbly buble water or whatever is just not human. Like at what point do you realize that? And even if it makes sense for Tamaki, I don't see how Felicia would have not noticed something.
Yeah, because Felicia would definitely be on like edge about it, but she didn't seem to notice it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we'll get like more explanation of why the other characters don't notice it like in the next couple episodes.
I'm hoping we do. I think I don't know. I think that part is kind of weird. It is consistently happening to where they always end up stumbling into like a witch's labyrinth, and like in Madoka, it was like as soon as they were in a labyrinth, they're like, "Oh fuck, we're in a labyrinth."
Yeah, it was very obvious then.
Like, oh, we're no longer in the 3D world. We're like surrounded by these random cotton ball things and 2D people. But in this show, it seems like even the person who's super experienced in Felicia and super anti-witch, wants to eradicate all witches, wants to kill them all, will do anything to kill all. Doesn't even notice when she's stumbling into like some sort of labyrinth, or whether it's not like a witch's labyrinth. Besides the point, whenever she's stumbling into like a zone that has the same kind of attributes as a labyrinth, it's hard to believe that she wouldn't notice that.
And something else later on in the episode, we saw the familiar like spraying the rumors across town. It was like they're whispering in all these girls' ears, but they're not being noticed, or like there's whoever is listening does not think there's anything weird going on. So I wonder if there's a connection there.
Yeah, the only way it'll make sense. Like I said, for Tamaki, it wouldn't be too hard to put together because she seems pretty inexperienced when it comes to like these labyrinths and the whole I keep wanting to call it like the magical. These things exist, and that's like going to fighting as magical girls. She doesn't seem very experienced in those. Yeah. But then also part of her personality or part of her body is like at least she's somehow related to witches to the point where she can, unbeknownst to her, transform into a witch and back.
Yeah, and I'm also...
So it makes sense that she maybe wouldn't notice because part of her is like, oh, this is totally fine because part of her is part witch, so it makes sense to that.
Yeah.
But for Felicia to not recognize it and not realize it was really weird. I hope they explain it pretty well. I'm guessing it's some sort of like power for like this one room or something, but we'll see.
And I also wonder if it's because if it's an Uwasa that's doing it, it's just like their normal powers against witches don't quite work the same.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so
they
like
just work differently than witches.
Yeah, because they're definitely different. We just don't know exactly why or how or what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they end up fighting some sort of enemy. I don't know if that was a witch or if that was part of the Uwasa or what that was.
Yeah, I think we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Right. Yeah, this show's definitely interesting.
I feel like this show is really hard to like try to make any analysis about episode by episode.
Yeah, like I
think it's gonna be a fantastic show to like look back on and review as a whole. But I think until we get to the end of the season, like, any guess is as good as any guess.
Exactly.
Because it's a fucking Madoka show.
My stupid guess will somehow be the most correct one.
I mean, honestly, we'll see.
But yeah, we also have Felicia, like, demanding money from Tamaki for saving her and for everything and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it just shows, like, what Felicia's fighting for. She's completely on her own.
Yep.
Then they have their allotted luck just everywhere they go. It's something weird that I noticed is I thought it was like a mistake in the animation of subtitles, but they had like the number 21 switching to 20 to reflect the like used one lucky event. And I thought that was a mistake in the subtitle until I realized they kept doing that.
Yeah, I noticed on the ice cream stick, the very first thing they said, originally it says 24% juice or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
On the popsicle, but then whenever she looks back at the wrapper again after she says, all right, Pops, give me 2 more of the same things, it counted down to 23%.
Okay.
And I was like, that's weird. And then I noticed it happened from 23 to 22. I'm like, okay, so this is like I was like, this has to be something to do with like the lucky thing. Like there has to be some sort of countdown going on. And then it's like, oh, it'll count down from 24. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I'm glad I picked up on that.
Okay, you picked up on it.
I outsmarted Madoka.
Yeah, you're not gonna outsmart Madoka.
Nope.
Okay, so
What
yeah.
were you gonna say, Jason?
What's that?
It sounded like you were gonna say something.
No, I just said I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed it because I was like,
Probably
that's weird. And then
So Jordan noticed it first, so he's the smartest person here.
I like to think so.
Okay. So, yeah, and then they end up meeting up with Yachio and the other girl, whose name I forgot to write down. Yuki?
Yui.
Okay.
Yui. Yep, Yui and Ui. K-On. K-On Part 2.
Yes, this is even better than the K-On. And now someone's probably going to want to hurt me for that, but that's okay. Yeah, we have Yachio warning Tamaki to stay away from Felicia, that she's dangerous, which definitely like hints at the larger character dynamic between all of them.
Between, yeah.
Yeah, between Felicia and the other magical girls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm hoping we get to at least, like, kind of meet the 4 that were in the intro, but then Yachio's like, well, whenever she fights, she puts the other girls in danger. So I wonder if, like, whenever she went off to go fight the thing during the intro, the other 4, like, died or just, like, vanished or something or whatever.
yeah. I also wonder if that's like the other girls that they like saw coming out of the movie theater. If that was also them.
It could be.
Yeah. So something else I noticed that I was reminded of based off the screenshots on screen is that the magical girls have like a symbol on their fingernail, not just the ring.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until Felicia noticed it on what's her face. I think I've like seen it on and off like during the series, but I haven't noticed it as like a consistent thing.
Yeah.
But then this episode, I was like, okay, so she has a little ring indicate like her like symbol is like a ring on her fingernail. I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then Felicia's is like some little blue, like almost emerald or like sapphire looking like a little crystalline hexagon looking thing.
Yeah, and you also noticed that when you saw Tamaki's ring, like you did not see the soul gem on it anymore.
You cut out for me. What was that?
The Tamaki's ring, where you normally see the soul gem, it wasn't there. It was just like what looks like the witch's writing on it. So I wonder if that's indicating anything, or if it's just something that's obvious, or I don't know. And if Felicia's also that way, like she has a thing on her fingernail and does not have a soul gem on her ring, maybe that means she's also turned into a witch in the past.
I'm very excited to continue this show. We're halfway through it now.
I'm glad that we have a new episode tomorrow or today.
With the end of episode 6, we're halfway through it, right? Because it's 12 episodes, or is it 13?
I don't know.
I want to say it was 12.
Okay, it's one course, so we're close to half if we're not half.
Yeah. Yep, so we're either at half or halfway through the episode that airs tomorrow. We'll be at half. But regardless, I think this whole first half has been a lot of setup.
Right.
There's been like enough going on to hold your interest, but there's been a lot of setup with so far overall pretty little reward.
Right.
I'm excited to see what they do with the second half, because you have to assume even if we do get a second season, they're at least going to wrap up some part of the story. They're going to give you something.
Right. This season kind of reminds me of Fruits Basket in that the first season is just like a lot of setup. Though in that case, I think it's done a lot better than here. It was like they're intentionally taking their time with this.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you. They'll wrap something up, not everything, but like enough to like leave off satisfied until you get the next season. So,
yeah, I hope that's why I hope it's not for like the next setup. Also because it's a mobile game spin-off, even though it's Magica, it's a spin-off series, so there's like no real guarantee. Especially because the main show didn't. So that's why it's harder for me to want to like think that we're gonna get a season 2. Because I know we definitely could because the mobile game's ongoing building on its world or whatever. But I feel like since the original Madoka only had like the 12 episodes plus like the movies, and 2 of the movies were recap movies, content, and then 3 was an actual movie. But like we only had 12 episodes plus basically 1 movie worth of content.
Right.
And if I feel like if we're getting the same thing out of this show, they're using a lot of time to set up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little things that they're going to try to wrap up. And if we don't get a season 2 or at least a movie or 2 of new original content, I don't see how they can pace it to wrap up all these storylines without it feeling super, super rushed. And I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, so I really do think they're going to do multiple seasons. I can't see them not adapting this as fully as they can because of how popular the series is. It has to be profitable for them.
Yeah, and I think the game is super big.
Yeah. So between I think this might even boost the game sales too. So between all that, it would not make sense for them not to adapt as much as they can. So.
Yeah. That's true. We'll see. At the same time, though, I hope this doesn't just become like season on top of season on top of season just to keep selling stuff. I hope whether it ends at season 1 or season 2 or season 3, I hope they don't like keep forcing like bad subplots and bad stories off to the side to just like make it as long as possible, as profitable as possible.
Yeah, that's actually my fear is more that they do that than they end it just completely incomplete.
I feel like they won't do that with Madoka because like they didn't when it was so good and it was at such a big peak.
Yeah.
But it being a mobile game makes it a lot harder, especially it being a gacha kind of style mobile game.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
The goal of a mobile game is like keep people playing long term, so they keep having to like release more story or something.
Yep.
And when it's like something with Bang Dream, it works easier because you can like easily have a story that doesn't like change the plot in any big ways. Well, here's like the Madoka type story. You keep wanting to build on it and do something more, and you eventually get somewhere.
Yeah, I'm
hopefully
I'm excited, a little bit worried.
Right.
Mostly excited.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to this episode itself. We got what was probably the most interesting part, and that was when they end up going into the labyrinth after they're like hunting the lucky witch monster thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then as Jason was saying, like this whole scene looked really cool, but then they actually talked to the Uwasa familiars and learned a little bit more about what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see exactly what the difference. Which is like the like it's not like witches are stupid because they're smart, but like all they think about is like destroy and kill and massacre.
They're monsters.
Uwasa seem to have like they're like where it seems like Uwasa seem to have some sort of like actual like real intelligence where they can like think and not just like want to destroy everything in their path. They seem to want to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. They seem to have goals and procedures to things.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of an interesting take.
And they also have the Magias, which is like their leader somehow, we think. Or at least I think.
Yeah.
So it's like they're more organized than the witches who basically were just like on their own mindless monsters trying to kill people. Oh, and we didn't talk about Kyoko either.
I fangirled a lot. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, at least not much.
About Kyoko.
We didn't talk about what she actually did in the episode, though.
No.
So we had the conversation with her and Yachiyo, with like Yachiyo realizing Kyoko is really strong, which kind of makes sense. You bring the main character back, you don't want them to be weak. But it's also interesting how like Yachiyo isn't like discouraging her from showing up and treating on their territory and all that.
Mm-hmm. I like how even Kyoko was kind of surprised about that. She's like, "Are you sure it's?" And she's like, "Yep." And Kyoko's like, "All right, bet." And she dips off the building in the most Kyoko.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a very Kyoko thing to do. And did they say why Kyoko came to this city?
I think it's the same reason Mombi. She was like, "You guys realize that like all the way." And Yachi was like, "Yep." And why are you here? And Kyoko's like, "Well, I need money and food." And Yachiyo's like, "Okay, cool. Just 2 rules: don't poach witches, and like don't attack other magical girls." And Kyoko's like, "All right, bet." And then just run and just like dips off the
goes
building.
off the yeah. But
Goes off the roof.
the reason Mommy was in the city is because QB asked her to investigate. So.
Oh yeah.
So is there like another reason for Kyoko doing this, that she just didn't tell Yachio, or is she just here because?
It could definitely be because, like, of another reason that we haven't learned about yet.
Yeah.
But I also don't. It being Kyoko and what we know from modern series, if it just comes down to money and food, those are equally like good reasons to Mommy listening to Kyubey. Because Mommy was like very much like listening to Kyubey, whereas Kyoko was not quite as extreme as Homura with her dislike or disdain for Kyubey. Homura would literally just kill on sight.
Yeah.
But Kyoko definitely never like shown that she was a super big fan and super like enjoyed listening to Kyubey or whatever, you know?
Yes, I could definitely see like the money and food bringing her there, though. I wonder if there's like a more personal reason too.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm just curious what she'll like do in the story.
I hope Kyoko's consistently like valuable to the story. I hope Mommy keeps coming back.
I hope Mommy brings her awesome music too.
Yes. Mommy's soundtrack is so good.
Yes, it is. We also learned that apparently the Magius can save magical girls, whatever that means. Possibly means killing them, knowing Madoka.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. I mean, they definitely could.
And they also knew Felicia directly, like that was her, what she was after, what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had, like, at the end, Felicia possibly turning against magical girls to join the Uwasa. So, any thoughts on that? Did that surprise you?
About them trying to unite all the magical girls and, like, cure it, you mean?
Or, I was just going to say more of that, them recruiting Felicia, basically.
Oh.
Because that was,
I'm not super surprised if they're trying to get powerful magical girls. It seems like everyone in like the group that's around them knows that Felicia is either the strongest or comparable in strength to Yachio. Right. So I'm not super surprised that the Iwasa or whatever tried to or not the Iwasa, what was it? The Magus something?
Or Magius is the leader of them all.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised that the Magius is like familiars or whatever would try to convince the one that's known to be like a mercenary and we'll fight witches basically for money.
Well, and just because she wants to exterminate the witches. So they weren't like bribing her with money. It's like, we know what you want. You want to get rid of witches, join us, we'll do this.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm not super surprised that they went for Felicia. Because they know she's so anti-witch and like she wants to kill them all, that they figured she'd be pretty easy to bring over to their side. And so far, obviously, it may not happen now. It may not be the way we think it's gonna go down, but it looks like Felicia's gonna join. But she could also just smile and say no.
And then she kills them too.
I want to be super surprised.
Yeah. I also think they're gonna like bring Felicia back through like the friendship with Tamaki.
You keep cutting out for me.
Oh, yeah, you do the same for me.
It's so weird. I hate Discord.
All right, we're using Skype next week.
Oh, my God. What a throwback.
What was I saying? Oh, I think that they will bring, like, Felicia back to the magical girls, like, through her relationship with Tamaki.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm excited. I think that's all my notes for the episode. Any other final thoughts?
Jason, hit me with some knowledge.
All right, so here's the Bing Dream connection of the week.
Okay.
Oh fuck me.
So
okay.
Felicia's Seiyu is Ayane Sakura, who also voices Ran from Bing Dream.
Is that the Afterglow person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also voices Ochako from My Hero.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't watch the sub of that often, so. But yeah, I can see
She
that.
does a lot of other big roles, but yeah.
Okay.
Like try to ask Jason about what his thoughts on the episode. He just goes, "All right, so it's the same actor as the chick from Vaden Dream." I'm like, "Son of a bitch! How did I know you're gonna bring one of those two shows up?"
Okay, I need to add Vaden Dream to the tags for this.
I knew it.
Yeah, like I said, it was a good episode. Things started to pick up and happen. So I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. Like y'all were. So.
Are you a Felicia fan or no?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, very
I don't
For now,
decisive.
know.
you're pretty sure, but not entirely convinced.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Jason is a 62% convinced.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling that she's like. She's definitely like. I think if you were to put her on like the D&D like alignment chart, she's like chaotic neutral at best. Like I think she like ranges between chaotic good and chaotic probably.
Yeah.
I don't think she's like chaotic evil just killing everything, but I think it's definitely like she's trying really hard to like kill these witches, but she doesn't realize that like she's also just abandoning her friends in this huge fights, and they kind of get fucked up because of it.
Yeah, she's like does whatever she wants and doesn't care.
Exactly, and I think that's gonna become an issue throughout the series. I'm excited, I guess now since it's technically into the 15th. Now I'm excited to see the episode later today, and see exactly what's gonna be going on with this,
Right.
especially with the Felicia joining or not joining.
Yeah, I think after this I'm gonna go to bed, then I'll wake up and then watch the new episode.
That's fair. But I mean, that's all my thoughts. I think bringing back Kyoko's gonna be sick. I hope that we get to see some more of Kyoko and some more Mommy series. I really want them to bring back Mommy because her soundtrack is awesome. I'm very excited to see Kyoko in fights because while her animations and everything like came out in 2012, it's now 2020. So the updated animations and the updated sound quality and
You just want to see like
art style and everything is gonna be awesome. I really want to see her with her giant like chain lance thing going in.
oh yeah, I want to see that too. Okay, we need to finish this so I can go to bed and then so I can wake up and watch it.
On that note, you guys, I think that's gonna do it for us here from the Speak Anime podcast. We've been Jordan, Jason, and Greg. Go check us out at the links below the stream, or I guess below the video now if you guys weren't watching it live. Sorry again that this episode came out so late in the week. We all three live in different places, and we all three have very different jobs. So finding a time where we can all sit down, even for as short a time as 30 to 35 minutes, can be kind of difficult.
Yeah, there's a reason why we tend to do like one video a year until this, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty hyped that we're actually doing it consistently.
Yeah, it's fun that we're basically doing this weekly, at least as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be out of town some next week, so that might be a challenge for doing podcasts.
Yeah, with Greg going out of town next week, though, we'll get it still done.
Yeah. Maybe Wednesday. We'll figure it out.
Well, yeah, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. But in the meantime, that's been it for us from the Speak Anime podcast. Thank you guys again so much. If you did watch all the way through and you want to see our reactions and thoughts on the previous episodes, go ahead and go watch those now if you like.
Yeah.
If you want to watch the future ones, go and press that subscribe button. Press the notification bell because we're a sellout channel now, so you can you can know whenever we're going live at so you can interact with us in chat, and then also leave a like on the video so other people see this whenever they look up the Magia Record episode 6 reactions and stuff. Really helps us out a lot.
Yes. And if you make us YouTube famous, then we'll get to sponsor like lots, or then other places will sponsor us. Then we become rich and famous, and then we will fund season 2 ourselves.
Exactly, and that's what
You
you guys. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll give it a real fun.
Okay.
But it's past midnight for all of us. For Greg, it's past 1 a.m. So we're gonna go ahead and head off and head to sleep.
Yes. Good night, everyone. It's been fun.
Take it easy, guys. Good night.
Bye.